Hello, everybody. I hope you are doing well. I hope your English learning is going well today. Today, in this English lesson, we are going to look at British English and American English. I found a woman on TikTok as I was scrolling through my TikTok, and she reacted to living in the United States. So she is a British woman living in the United States. And when I first saw this, I thought, oh no, she is going to be ripping on my country. Ripping on, that just means saying bad things about my country. But I don't want to spoil anything, but she doesn't exactly rip on the country. We'll see. And I'll also be reacting to her accent. So you'll be able to hear some of the things she says in British English and some of the things I say in American English. So let's do this. I will pull up. Yeah, that looks good. So her name is Millie Hart01. If you would like to follow her on TikTok, let's do it.
Some of the things that have shocked me the most since being in America. Now, obviously, I'd never been to the USA before I actually moved over here to live. And we see films.
All right, probably that first thing right there. It sounded like she said leave, but she actually said live. So even as an American native English speaker, some of the things that she says, my ear has to kind of understand what's going on. So I'm not listening to an American, I'm listening to someone who is British. So she said she came over to live. But when I first heard it, I thought she said leave.
And we always have this expectation of what America will be. One thing I never realised is the scale of this place. Now, I know we all know America.
All right, I need to stop there one more time because she said the scale of this place. I thought she said style at first, but she does say the scale of this place. So when she's talking about the scale of this place, she means the size and how big it is compared to the UK.
America's big, but when you actually come here and just the scale of everything, like that's why everyone has to drive. Like everything's just big. The roads are bigger, like the shops are bigger, like they've just got so much room, and it's why houses are much bigger.
Just the average American's house is probably bigger because we just have more land. There are places in the United States where basically still nobody lives. Alaska, Wyoming, big states with very few people. Another thing that might be shocking to people when they come to the United States is that you pretty much need a car. If you're going to stay in one big city like New York or Boston or LA maybe, you might not need a car. There are subways, there are buses that you can take, but if you want to travel to another state, the best bet is to rent a car. I live in the state of Maine, that is way in the Northeast. If I wanted to drive to San Diego, which is in the Southeast, the very bottom of California, it would take me 45 hours. I'm sure there are some people from Russia thinking, what? That's not that far. But I think to most people, it's a pretty far drive.
Like going from different states, just shop, like literally when you can drive and keep driving for like 24 hours and you're still in the same country, it really hits home just how big of a place this is. And with that being said, it's what I try and say to people, that every state really feels to me like a different country because there's different laws.
All right, so I'll stop her there. She is going to talk about the different laws that each state has. It is true, if you go to a different state, it's a good idea to find out what some of their most important laws are. In my state, you don't need a helmet to ride a motorcycle. In other states, you do.
There's different rules. The way of life is different in each state because it's just so big. So to explain America is impossible to do unless you've physically lived in every single state. It's why I can only ever speak on where I am. It's hard to speak on everybody else. The second thing is that I feel America.
All right, before she gets to her second thing, yeah, I think Americans growing up in the United States, we have a pretty good idea of how each state is different. But I'm sure coming from Europe, it would be very hard to tell one state from the other. Now, on to her second point.
America is built for pure convenience. Like everything is convenient. So you don't have to get out the car to go to a pharmaceutical or chemist, as we would say. You don't have to get out the car to go.
She says pharmaceutical or chemist, and we would definitely call it a pharmacy. That is where you pick up your medication. And yeah, a lot of pharmacies here do have drive-throughs. You do not have to go into the store to pick up your medication.
Go to a cash point. You don't have to get out the car to actually do many things. Like everything can be done from your car. And for a lot of people, that is convenient, especially where it comes to people who are older or people with disabilities. Like, I just feel we don't have that kind. We don't offer that kind of service in England.
All right, so she is talking about older people who don't have to get out of their car to get medication. That's a good thing. However, it might just kind of back up the stereotype that Americans are lazy. But I like how she put a positive spin on it.
Way of living, like for us as British people, like when the weather's good, we want to go and sit in a beer garden. But over here, they do things like a cookout, and they'll literally just get family round, they'll get like the barbecue, the grill out, get the pool set up, and they'll just literally have a whole day in the garden.
I think she said get the pool set up, but I'm actually not sure. I think she said get the pool set up. But yeah, cookouts. I just did an English lesson last week on the 4th of July in the United States. And yeah, I'm actually going to a cookout at my brother's house again tomorrow. We do not have beer gardens in the United States. I'm not exactly sure what a beer garden is, but it sounds like a place outside where you would drink beer.
But it just feels different. Like it just feels like they don't need to go to a pub to be social. Like them happy not to be. Them happy just to chill in the garden with the family. And actually, you have no idea how much I prefer that. Like, I don't fancy going down the pub anymore. Like, I love waking up and it's straight up and thinking, oh, I'll get the pool out for the kids. I'll set the grill up. We'll go and get some food. Like, for me, that's much more enjoyable than going and getting drunk in a beer garden with people that probably don't even like you.
So I'm not going to say there isn't drinking at a lot of family cookouts, but that is the point of a family cookout, to be with family.
Things that they have for kids to do, like we have parks in England, but honestly, there's a park literally every 5 minutes. And when I say a park, I mean they are amazing. Like every park I've ever been to has got a swing for children with disabilities. I've never seen that in England. There's just a lot more to offer. So yeah.
I thought she said a lot of really nice things about the United States, and I was very happy to hear that. She talked about playgrounds for kids that if they do have disabilities, it is the law that if a person is wheelchair bound, that's a term we might use, they have to get around in a wheelchair. There are actually laws in the United States that protect people who can't walk up steps. I hope you've enjoyed this look at British versus American English. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.